best way I find to make music is I start a track, and then I leave it alone for a couple of weeks, and then listen back to it. And then you're like, well, it doesn't need any more. It's only because I was listening to so much that I was getting bored of my own tune. I've started adding more stuff in to keep it exciting for me. But it's only because you've listened to it about 10,000 times before anyone else does. So that's the genius in making music, is knowing when you've got too much going on to take stuff out.
Hey, I'm Graham Farmer, founder of the dance music magazine Data Transmission and Twitch partner, streaming on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 p.m. On this channel, we share the full interviews from my Twitch streams. But before we jump into this interview, if you can help this video get more reach by giving it a like and a comment, it'd be most appreciative. And don't forget to consider subscribing so you always get notified when we drop new interviews. Mark Radford, welcome to Twitch. Welcome to my show. Yay! Yeah. I'm good. Good. Thank you so much for doing this. We've sent you the demos and you've had a listen this morning.
I did.
How are they sounding generally?
Really good production. All of them were good quality. I could definitely give some constructive criticism on some of them.
Yep.
But yeah, there's some really good tracks in there. Really good. I was impressed.
Cool. Before we jump into those, I was going to ask you about, like, let's talk about the label, talk about you. Yes. How has the last couple of years been? How, like, you've changed some things with the label. I definitely want to talk about those, but how's the last couple of years been? Let's start with that.
Do you know what it's been? For me, it was the whole lockdown thing was a chance to reset music-wise for me. Because I feel that after we had our initial rise with the label, the audio rehab sound that everyone knew, it kind of dwindled down a little bit. I kind of started to lose producers that were making the right sound for the label.
Yeah.
So I kind of dipped into what everyone was making, the tech house, as much as what I could kind of make work on audio rehab. But then throughout lockdown, I found some amazing new producers who were making exactly the right sound for the label again. You know,
right.
They were right into what we were doing from the beginning. They've been learning. They've been listening to the radio shows. Like how I first had it on Rinse, that's how I've now got it on House FM. It's like every week, producers are locking in, listening to what each other's made during the week, coming with fresh fire every week for me. So it's amazing. It's a really good position at the minute.
That's great. Was the loss of DJs, was that kind of, did they just then at a level where they're going off to bigger things, or was it they just changed their sounds, or what's?
They just changed their sound. I think it was when Solado first blew up and the tech house thing got massive. Everyone kind of left deep house or the deep tech and went on to that because they could see how popular it became rapidly overnight. But as someone that's been in this game for 30 odd years, I know that everything has its ups and downs. It goes around in cycles. And for me as a label, I've never wanted to just jump from one thing to another. Once I got the sound that I'd worked my whole life to get, a unique sound, I wanted to stick with it. But it was hard when people weren't no one else was really making the sound, you know. But I've seen that so many other labels go through the same thing. They kind of lose their initial sound, what they become known for, and then it comes back around. You know, they say music goes around in 7-year cycles. So I think now we're at, I think it's year 12 with the label. So we've gone back around in double the time. But it's, you know, it's amazing. I've got some amazing music coming back through. And those producers that were originally part of the label are now doing their thing, but in a different sound, which is, you know, cool. People like to move on and do different things. But like I said, at the moment, I've got a good stable of producers that are making exactly the right sound for the label. And we're showcasing it at Ministry this coming Saturday.
That's wicked. That's wicked.
Yeah.
Man, 12 years. I remember, Jesus, I literally had a flashback then of young Sam Chamberlain doing all your blooming artwork 12 years ago. Like, I was in that office when he was making that artwork for you 12 years ago. Jesus.
Do you know what? The label's not actually at 12 years because the party's been running longer than the label. I came in and started the label 2000, and we're at 10 years. It's 10 years this year. So, yeah, it's been 10 years. So Sam's still doing the artwork. Big up, Sam.
Is he? No way.
He is. He's still doing the artwork for me.
No way.
So,
I love Sam.
Yeah. All of the assets you see, every bit of branding for the label is still Sam.
Amazing. Oh,
he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah.
I didn't know he was still involved. That's wicked. I love Sam. He's well cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Cool. So the sounds you've kind of got back, that sounds cool. That sounds wicked. I noticed you changed music like your promotion. You've not on SoundCloud. Are you I remember getting an email in lockdown that you'd made an app and you'd made it all lockdown and you were, tell me what's going on here.
So what we've done is we've made our own music delivery app.
Yep.
So that people can register to it and then they get the music long before it goes onto Beatport, Traxsource, and so on and so on. And we're finding it's building a community. And then what people that sign up to it, and if they leave feedback and invite their friends to join, we've called it respect. So they get respect added to their account, and then they get a certain amount of fists. They get a certain amount of respect, and then they can get free tickets for the events, merchandise, stuff like that. So it's about just building a community. It's still in early days, but we're just finding it's working well. And I found that I think SoundCloud's for promoting music now though I haven't used it for ages, I find it's not a medium that kids go to anymore.
What platforms are working for you?
Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, you are cool. You're
something that I need to get into a lot more because I'm a bit of a dinosaur when it comes to TikTok, but I'm getting into it.
That's cool. So Instagram, TikTok. It's all going through the app. Have you gone in the Bandcamp thing? Did you go that route? Did you go into that route?
No, not at all. I haven't gone Bandcamp at all. We're still using Beatport as our predominant exclusive where to get the tracks. But again, I think this year's about rebuilding for us, and I've got a whole new bunch of new artists that I'm pushing, which are relatively unknown. So it's about building them up again. And with a series of events that I've got coming over the year, I think it's going to put us in a good place this year because, like I said, I've seen the movement come back to the deep tech, the London-based deep tech sound again. And just from in the clubs, I'm seeing that's what people want more and more because it's something original, which is what we've always been known for,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like that London, like the amount of times I've been on these streams and we've got a track and it's been for a tech house stream and I started listening to it and I've gone to the kind of person, whoever it was in the chat. I'm like, this isn't obviously right. And were you aiming this at that deep tech London sound? And they were like, yeah. And you could tell they hadn't got it right, but you could tell that's where they were aiming it at. But you can tell there's definitely that. Obviously we've got a label for it now as well, and there's definitely that scene's growing for it. The tech house thing seems to have split into so many little subgenres of tech house now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. And what I'm finding is a lot of the producers every producer that I've always worked with and that has delivered the goods have always come from the varied background of the London scene. They've got drum and bass influences, they'll have the two-step garage influences, and that's what's important because we're not necessarily your stereotypical house brand.
Yeah.
The music we make, the music that I'm into and that I play is completely different to what the majority of people are doing. But like I said, the movement is growing. There's a lot of new DJs coming through and that's all they want to play. That's all they want to push. So yeah, it's exciting times again.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, yeah, with the amount of times we've been looking for music for something, it's just there is a lot of young, and it's very cool, and it's very groovy, which is great, man. I'm loving it. Yeah. These streams are at lunchtime, we ask our guests for their go-to meal deal. All my chat love them, so I want to know if you're getting a meal deal from either Tesco's or Sainsbury's or wherever, what is your go-to order?
Chicken and bacon sandwich.
Yes.
The Thai chicken Walker's crisps.
Ooh, the Thai chicken. That's a good choice.
Yes, and depends on feeling either water or Lucozade. I don't really drink a lot of fizzy drinks. So if I'm feeling tired, it'll be Lucozade or normally a water.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the Lucozade when you're poorly, obviously.
Yeah. Or if I'm tired. Orange Lucozade, though, not original. That's disgusting.
Yeah, chicken with chicken. Oh, someone says chicken with chicken. Controversial.
Yeah, but then you get the crisps, and you put the crisps in the sandwich.
Oh, always the crisp in the sandwich, and then you push it down and get that nice little crunch.
Yeah, always. Trust me. Try it. Chicken and chicken together is the lick.
I do that with tuna mayonnaise sandwich. I get like a cheese and onion crisp, and I get a tuna mayonnaise sandwich. And I put the cheese and onion and get a little crunch.
That's a good shout as well. Definitely.
Yep. Everyone's saying, I love it when the guests get the meal deal thing. Oh, I love it. Yeah, because we have the Americans on, and they're like, I get a McDonald's, and we're like, oh man, okay.
Not a meal deal.
No, exactly.
It's got to be a sandwich, a packet of crisps, and a drink. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Do you want to listen to some music? Let's go for it. Right, I'm going to switch the scene. Well, let's go for this. First up, Harvest, I'm Flexing, featuring Cheechmo. What name? Cheechmo. Hey, Cheechmo. Let's go for this.
I wonder what he does in his spare time.
One more round of the whole party. Got fur on my coat with his phone, baby. I'm flexing. Yeah, I'm flexing.
There we go. Harvest. I like that, dude. That was cool.
Like that one. Really fat, chunky. Got a nice groove to it, that one. Really good. Yeah. Nice original vocal as well. Yeah, I liked it.
Should we give it the rave horn?
Definitely give it on a rave horn. Yeah, good.
So just so you're aware, Mark, we've got two sounds. We've got the rave horn if you like it.
Okay.
And if you absolutely love it, then we've got the Hulk, and we give it the Hulk smash.
Brilliant. Love that.
No, I enjoyed that. What did you think of the vocal?
Yeah, I like it. It was original. It worked. And yeah, great track. As I said, that one had me bopping earlier. I liked it. I like the bass line, I like the drums, I like the arrangement.
What sort of stuff are you picking up for the label now? Is it, you're saying more deep tech?
Yes.
Cool.
Definitely. Rather than the sort of rolling tech bass lines, for me, it's always been the more sort of, how can I explain it? But a deep tech bass line. More notation going on in the bass. Like Hugo Massien stuff, the Night Shift stuff, the Carneo beats, that kind of sound. That's what I'm into. I've got some amazing new producers, Jack Burt, Ian Solo, Danny Ghost, Eternal Joe, them kind of guys. Yeah, they're making some amazing music, man. Really good stuff.
I like Jack Burt. We've covered him on DT. It's cool.
Yeah, no, he's really cool. Like, he's one guy that just really gets it.
Right, MXL, the flapper. What have I heard this on MXL? Hey, so basically, we did the competition, Mark, last August. Fuck, that was so long ago. And they people had to make a track out of one of my streams or videos. So MXL made one out of me, and we've released using this vocal.
Okay, pass the kick test. I quite like the kick.
Which is, it's now had like 40,000 streams, and it's ridiculous. It's going well. Darius is playing, but this is his new one, the flapper. So I'm excited to see what he's done. Let's play the flapper.
Trouser flapping bass. Give me the bass that I crave.
There we go. That's the flapper from XL. It does pass the kick
Okay,
test from XL.
pass the kick test. I quite like the kick.
Yeah, thank you. It does pass the kick test.
Yeah, I mean that's not really my kind. It's not really my kind of sound, but I could definitely hear the more techie DJs playing that to get the club pumping. I think that would work in certain clubs.
That's cool. Yeah, it would. Please sing Dusk Till Dawn. What the hell? Please sing Dusk Till Dawn. You or Mark? Me or Mark?
Sing Dusk Till Dawn.
What is Dusk Till Dawn? I don't even know what it is. Mark, do you want to sing it? Give us a little. Shall I get the singing mic out for you? Here, look, I'll get the singing mic out for you. Here, you can have a little. I'll get
I don't know what. I've got no idea what Dusk Till Dawn is.
What?
I don't know.
We'll use the singing voice. Dusk till dawn, dusk till dawn.
Yeah, no idea what they're talking about, unfortunately. Yeah, again, that track, well produced, but not something that sits anywhere within the Audio Rehab camp. So it goes back to making sure that you research the labels that you're sending in music for. You know, that would probably work more on, I don't know, like Solar or that kind of
trick,
chunky tech house label. Yeah. That's why it's very important that artists research this in the music too.
Let's do this. Bergwall, hey Bergwall, and Ginger Tim, Lagoza. This is gonna be right. Okay, let's go for this. Let's go. This is gonna be house, isn't it? Right, there we go. There you go. That was Bergwall and DJ Chims. You vote for you.
A bit too hard for me. I could see that one working at some of that Bergheim though, one of those like techno clubs.
Yeah. Too thumpy. Let's carry on with the Scary. Right, let's play the song.
Yes, so again, a Skyrish track. Really like his production.
Yeah.
He's had a release with us actually in the past.
Yeah, I was going to say he has. Yeah.
Yeah, he was taught sub-bass by the guys at Sub-Bass, so I know he knows his stuff. My main feedback on that track would be I think he could have gone into more of a vocal part on it somewhere to give it that more epicness.
Yeah,
because I was waiting for that. It's kind of that sort of progressive, trancey more vibe. And I think if it had come with a bigger breakdown with more of a vocal in it, it would have given him somewhere else to go with it.
That's it. I agree.
But I could see that working on like even like Torgrim or someone like that. If he had that bigger breakdown, it would work for him better. I feel.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's go on. Laz Log Switch. I'm excited by this one. This is our. This is.
I mean,
This,
curveball.
this is the real curveball.
Okay.
Really, really listen to the music of labels when you're sending it, because I mean, you'll see in a second. This is completely not right. But let's go for it.
It's been too long. Yeah. For these days, you know you've been strong.
Right, that's all I'm going to play of it, because you really didn't do your research, and I feel like you can only have 26 seconds.
That's brutal, bro.
I'm sorry, if you're not going to do your research and you're not going to put any effort in, I'm not going to put any effort into playing your records. I'm not giving you any airtime on this stream. You just no. I'm sorry.
That's just one of them ones where, you know, you get them emails where it says, I've been fan of your label for years. I love what you're doing. I think this track's going to fit amazingly with your sound. And I listen to it and I'm like, you've never listened to one single tune that we've released.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely a curveball. The guy's obviously got no idea who I am or what I'm about at all.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not going to give him any more. Like he's obviously sent it so it gets played on a stream, but I'm not even going to give him that luck. You know. Put the effort in. Oh, and I'll put the effort in. Right, Chavez. Let's crack on with Chavez. At least we've got a house track this time. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Let's go with Chavez and see what happens.
When I close my eyes, I'm just reminded.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I could actually get a Hulk as well.
Yeah, let's give it a Hulk.
Yeah, I like that one. Nice summer groove. The vocal was nice, groovy stuff. Again, for it to be on the label, it needed a darker remix. But that's something we could work on. I really did like the vocal, though. You could do something good with that.
Nice. Wicked. Let's connect him after.
Who was his name again? What was his name?
Chavez. He's in the chat.
Chavez. Yes, hi, Chavez. Like that one. Feeling it, bruv. Nice bumpy groove on that one. Definitely. We like that. Thumbs up.
We'll connect them on email after. Well, you got their emails from the form afterwards, so you can.
Yes.
Wicked.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You definitely do something with that.
Yay! Well done, Chavez. Buzz in. Let's give it a double rave on.
Definitely a summer groove.
Loved it. Right, let's go next. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, phew. Let's carry on. So this is 66 Rollers by Jason Curry. Hey, Jason Curry, are you watching? Well done, Chavez. That's cool. Let's play this. I'll stop this. There we go. There you go.
Where do we start with that one?
The kick didn't sound right for me. Like, it definitely didn't pass the kick test. I don't know. Just
the thing is, there's elements of it that could have worked. Like the little vocal stab I liked, the piano thing I liked.
Yeah, I did.
But that boom 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 with the kick, it just overpowered everything, and that's all you could hear really. I definitely say he needs to go back and think more about his EQ and his dynamics and arranging as well, because it just came in straight away with no build up. You know, something like that could work if it was EQ'd and mixed properly, but unfortunately that's a no.
Yeah. Okay, let's carry on.
Back to the drawing board for that one, I think.
Right. Okay, Safari, these guys make good music. Let's see what they're saying. Let's go for it.
Come on. Drop.
Right, let's get back in. There we go. Tari Safari drop.
Some great elements in there, but I think we both agreed that the arrangement needs to be worked on that. Just too much going on all at once, and it kind of just muddled your brain. It's something that I think all of us as producers do. We listen to a track so much that we end up putting too much into it. So it's best to just get like this, constructive feedback from other people, and then go back to it. And I always end up going back to tracks and stripping loads out and just keeping the core elements. And then if I do want to add more in, add them in later parts of the track when other parts come out, just so it keeps it entertaining rather than everything happening at once. Because for me, there was a clash with the vocal and the synth sound that was following the same notation as the acid sound. There was all too much going on at once, and it wasn't. Your brain can't look onto one thing.
Yeah, I'm the same. I was saying to you, my brain didn't know what I was listening to, and I liked every sound in there. When they kind of some of them dropped away, when some of them dropped away, when it was more simple, it was working. It was fire. There was a bit around here somewhere where they dropped away, and it was like a couple of sounds, and it sounded amazing. But then it all came back in, and it was just like, whoa, what my brain trying to do with it, and forget your arms and legs trying to dance. My brain couldn't deal with it. But yeah, I liked every sound in there, and I liked the energy was incredible.
Yes.
I just think you just need to just space them out a little bit and use certain sounds with certain sounds, and let the other bits, like you're saying, come in later.
This is definitely more as far as that one was concerned. But I'm not saying take anything out, because we both said that each part could work if it's the arrangement's done correctly on it.
Agreed.
So yeah, I mean, good work. So just go back to it and spend another session on it, I would say.
Yeah, I would just where there's like 4 things going on, just drop them down to 2 or 3 and just let's hear it again once you've pulled it a bit
Definitely.
out. I like it.
My advice would be the main thing to take the chordy synthy sound out when the vocal's in, because they were both clashing. So the vocal with either the bass or the vocal with that, not all 3 of those things happening at the same time. Just my opinion.
Me too. But I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
I like it. So yes, good work.
I feel this is one you may groove to. I've listened to this, and I know these guys because they've been on the stream. So I feel we may have another Hulk smash here, but let's see what happens.
In my A style, old school. In my A style, old school.
There we go. That was HQ and Eastside. What are you saying?
Love the groove, the actual overall groove of the track. I can see that working in the clubs. But there was one little synth. I couldn't work out which one. I think I know which one it was, but it was clashing with. I think it was every other 8 bars or every other 16. It was a little something that didn't sound quite right. Nothing major, an easy fix. They can just go in and mute out each one until they work out which one. I think it was a little. It just didn't sit right for me with the tone of the bass and the kick, because that's a thing that a lot of people don't think about. They get stuff in key with their bass, but then they don't think about getting the kicking key.
Is that an easy fix? Is it something that they got to take it out, or they got to redo it? Or
no, they can just drop the key down of the kick, or just change the key of that sound. But sometimes it just, the sound harmonically just might not fit with the other harmonics they've got going on in there. So yeah, that's the only. Sometimes it works, but it just, I don't know, it just sounded a little bit off in that place for me. And I can see with the comments that everyone else has agreed with that as well. So that was just one thing. Even when I listened to it, there was just that one little bit that I thought I liked the overall track, but there was something that wasn't quite right in there for me.
It definitely.
But yeah, again, the bass line slaps and the beats were fat as well. So I think it's just definitely one of those little quirky synths they've got in there, was a little bit off, which, you know, most people wouldn't even notice. But when we're analysing tracks, this is what we're here for. So we've got to give the honest truth, you know. But yeah, overall, great work. Great
cool.
work.
Goo 2 by Jimmy Calabrese. Let's play this and see what it sounds like. There we go. First up, that definitely passed the kick test, didn't it? Like,
Okay, pass the kick test. I quite like the kick.
thank you.
We like the drums on that. I was really, really into the groove of the drums and the percussion. And then, I don't know, just went a little bit too trancey. Wasn't sure where it sat, really.
Yeah, I didn't kind of. It was like it slowed down melodic techno, like, but with fatter drums. The one thing I don't like about melodic techno is the drums aren't fat enough, and and the drums are fat on that, but it felt like it needed to either be sped up so it matched that one of those genres, or I don't know. Like when you try to think of these things, it's like, which genre would that fit in Beatport or Spotify playlist? Which one's it going to go into? And it won't fit into any of them, which is a problem. But labels won't take a chance on it, will they?
No, agreed. That's what I mean. You either one thing or another. It's to sit in the middle and not really, for people to not really be sure what genre you're aiming for. It's a bit hard unless it's an absolute bomb, and it doesn't matter what it is. It just grabs people. Whereas it kind of started really good. Then it could have potentially gone somewhere, but it just kind of went round in a circle. Didn't really go anywhere after that, did it? But saying that, the quality of production was there. The drum track was fat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The sounds are great. It needed more ideas with the kind of arrangement and change up of sounds as well. Yeah, I'd like to hear. I mean, even though it's nowhere near what I would play, I'd still like to hear more from the guy to see what else he's got in his locker. Because the drums are fat. Yeah, agreed. And he might have fatter drums with different beat, different arrangements, which would be quite cool.
It's just replied to Skeleton Keys. If you make music that's true to you but sits between genres, what do you do? Look, this is just our opinion. You can just keep doing what you're doing. We're just saying from our perspective, and this is an A&R for some tracks that are potentially signing for my label. For me, it's it's nowhere near what I would sign, and I wouldn't know where to place it. That's all I'm saying.
I guess if you're making tracks that don't fit between genres, I mean, I know what your tracks are like. They do fit in. They do fit in a genre. They do fit in the kind of house genre, but I guess this, it's like it's either too slow or it's too proggy, and it's I guess you just have to, again, you have to, like you said a minute ago, it has to be an absolute banger, and either with a big hook or a big vocal or something to make it really lift it,
Totally. I mean, again, going back to Skeleton, because I see you just replied, it is hard to make music that's true to yourself and for it to fit, but you've just got to keep doing it. I mean, stuff that I've made in the past, people said to me, well, what is that? It doesn't fit. So I've always just been, I'm just going to keep making it, and eventually it will fit because I'll make it fit. So don't change what you're doing because of someone else's opinion. If it's what you want to do, just keep doing it, and eventually you'll find fans for that sound.
Yeah, I guess that track, if you're going to put it in a genre, it would go in tech house or it would go in prog, and therefore it does fit in a genre, and it might even stand out in the genre because it's people are listening to it and go, well, that's not it, but I either quite like it or I don't like it. It's
definitely.
It would fit in. It would go into a genre. It's just. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't put it into one. But
we like the drums.
We like the drums.
we like the drums. The drums are fat.
It passed the kick test.
Definitely.
Right. Let's play Disco Kill the Drummer. Smelting Iron. Man, I love that. Smelting Iron. What a name for a track. I'm into the Smelting Iron. Love it. Go for it.
Ditch the vocal for a start.
Yeah.
The problem that you've got is that when you're going for a sample-packed vocal like that, which was such a big tune for Solado, as soon as you hear it, your mind's already thinking about Solado. It's different if you're using a vocal from a big vocal track but you're just taking a sample. You can get away. But when it's something like that is actually a sample anyway of a chant, because that track was so huge for them already, it's unless you're coming with something that's as banging as that, people are always going to say, well, it just sounds like, you've used a Solado sample. What was the point? Because the actual track, there was parts of it that I really, really liked. I like the bass line. I like the Chicago-y synths. It was warm, really nice and warm in places. But for me, the vocal just, even though there were certain little parts of it that did well, I just think take that off and find something more of a spoken word vocal, or it just didn't work for me. It was one thing and another that just didn't quite gel in the middle.
That second part was actually quite lovely when it didn't have the tribesman vocal on it, but it's definitely two tunes in one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, if there's already a track out there but is that massive as Solado's one was, there's no point. It's been done. Leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is again, a lot of producers do it, but I don't see the need when there's so many samples out there. There's, you can go into Loop Cloud, you can go into Splice, for example, guys, and you don't need to use a sample that's been used before. Just go through them and you'll find something original.
Come on here and I'll just speak with a load of rubbish and you can just use that.
There you go. Job done. Just ask Brian for a sample, guys. You sort you out.
I'll just speak a lot of rubbish for an hour and you can cop that up. Cop that up, even cut it up even. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Again, Skeleton's just made another good point. Something as big as that, you've got to give it time before people have kind of forgotten about it and then go, oh, that was the sample that they used back then, not when it's only a few years after it's been used. It's give it time to breathe. Otherwise you're just going to get compared constantly against it.
Exactly. Yeah, I should do a sample pack of just random shit.
Yeah.
Biddy, Biddy, how you doing, Biddy? Yes, dude, I like this guy. Featuring Greg Lawson. Let's play this. Go. That was cool. I quite like that. I like the vocal.
Love the vocal. I think the actual processing on it needed working. It could have definitely sounded better mix-wise on the vocal. I think the reverb he had in it kind of made it a little bit cheesy in places, but saying that, it's a great vocal and you could definitely work with it. The beauty of a good vocal like that is that he can then get good remixes done off the back of it as well. I can definitely hear that, mainstream radio. The other thing I would say is when you're doing a piano and bass track and they're following the same rhythm, every now and again just have one of them doing something slightly different so it's not so regimental. Like the piano could have done an off stab or the bass could have done a slightly different stab, just every 8 or every 16, just to give it a bit of excitement rather than it just being so rigid, But yeah, I liked it. It's definitely got potential. I mean, the vocal was great, whoever the vocalist is. Who's a vocalist?
Awesome.
Yeah, great voice.
Yeah, really good voice.
Yeah,
I was saying you could definitely feel this with a cheeky cider in your hand in the summer.
Standing in the doorway of your shed, swaying.
Exactly. It's definitely a shed shaker for crying out loud.
Yeah, great vocal on that one. But yeah, again, it just a little bit of work here and there could make it a great track.
Yeah, what would you do? Like, what would you say to, like, because obviously he's done that with himself. Would you add somebody else to it? Would you bring someone that can actually mix it, or where would you take that next?
Yeah, if I was him, I mean, it depends. I don't know. It's obviously mixing vocals is getting the vocal sounding right is paramount. Perhaps give it to someone else to mix. Someone whose tracks he really looks up to and thinks, right, would you be interested in mixing this track for me? Because yeah, the mix, we can take it one way or the other. I just think the vocal has got a lot of potential. So yeah, definitely spend more time on the vocal.
Yeah. Agreed.
And just little accents on the piano or the bass just to make it a little bit different. So it's not so rigid in places. But the drum track was good. Again, just mixed down to get it. I think the kick could slam a bit harder.
I agree.
Didn't quite pass the kick test.
And the hats were a bit high. The hats were a bit too up in the mix.
So that didn't pass the kick test, no?
It didn't pass the kick test.
Pass the kick test. I quite like the kick.
Didn't. Passed the vocal test, but not the kick test.
It didn't pass. It did pass. We need to pass the vocal test button. Right. We're up to 32 now. Wicked. Let's go. Freak. Quartz LeBerg. Oh, he's here. Hi, Quartz. The kick needs to be Hulk smashed. Yeah, exactly. Let's play this and see what you think. This is the last one. Wicked. we go.
So my advice to this guy, great track to this guy, started emceeing then, didn't I? Great track. Really loved the groove on that, but the mix just wasn't thumping enough. So what I always do, which I never used to do, my mixes when I first started were absolutely diabolical. I'd go and play them in a club and I'd be like, that sounds really good indoors. Play in a club and it'd just be like, ugh, dreadful. So then what I started doing was tracks from producers that I admire and think their mix downs sound absolutely fat. I'd import their track in next to my track and then compare levels.
Yeah.
So if their track, say Martin Ikin, for example, his tracks thump 100% every single time. So if you've got a track and you want to make sure that your kick is thumping, compare it to his. If it's not, then you've got to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, because that's the most important thing. Your mixes have to thump. And if they're not, then doesn't matter how much time you spend on the track, it gets lost in translation because you can hear what you want it to sound like, but if the levels aren't there, then you're just not going to get the reaction that you want. Again, really good track. I love the whistle sound in it. I love the vocal. I think the drums could have been, I think when the track first drops off the little breakdowns, there was a little bit too much going on in places in the drums. I think there was a few too much percussion and rolls going on. Just save them and again, space things out in your drum track just to let it breathe a little bit more. But chords, we like that one. Just a little bit more work on the mix down. Yeah,
I like the vocal. I like I say, the whistle was cool. It definitely didn't pass the kick test. So
no, see that? I mean, that's the one bit of advice I give to everyone. Once you've mixed your track, then import a track in and compare it with the two. Just using the multimeter and things like that, so you can see where your levels are compared to the level of the track that thumps. That is a good starting point for someone that's just trying to perfect their craft. Definitely reference tracks.
Yeah, I really liked it, but just let's hear it again once the mix is, because it's just that all that bottom end was muffled.
But chords, keep them coming, mate.
Right, we've got one more who's come from the streams. I've got one little slotted in. You haven't heard it. This is from this person that's in the stream. So we both haven't heard this.
Okay.
Let's. I have no idea what this is going to be.
God!
I'm hoping that they've been sort of been.
Is this another curveball?
Who knows? It could be absolutely amazing. It could be the one that gets signed. It could be. It
could be the one that I'm going to sign. Yeah.
It could be the biggest record of the year.
Who's it by?
This is by Nessie, who's been watching the stream the whole way through and put it in the Discord. So big up Nessie. Let's. I felt like we had a little 5, so let's just.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go in, shall we? Let's see.
Go.
Too much vocal.
Couldn't hit a kick and couldn't really get my head around what was going on with the bass or anything else because the vocal was just overpowering everything. It's such a prominent vocal again that your ear is just going to be drawn to that no matter what else is going on. So you're not giving your track a chance to breathe because you've got such a big well-known vocal that it's just hard to compete with the original of the track, So you've got to come with an absolute banging track to even think about using a vocal like that. I'd like to hear it without it on. I'd like to hear the instrumental so I can hear what's going on with the bass and the keys. Because, again, it was just too much vocal.
Yeah, exactly. And filter it out and let the other bits breathe, if you're going to use that vocal all the way through, just...
Yeah, but I mean, that is the key. And people it takes time to understand that when you're making music because, I did it for years. I listened back to tracks that I did like 10 years ago and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much going on. Because you just want to... If you're listening to a track so much, as a producer, you end up getting to the point of where you think there's not enough going on, so you add more. That's when the problem starts. You need to, the best way I find to make music is I start a track, I leave it alone for a couple of weeks and then listen back to it. And then you're like, well, it doesn't need any more. It's only because I was listening to so much that I was getting bored of my own tune. I started adding more stuff in to keep it exciting for me. But it's only because you've listened to it about 10,000 times before anyone else does. So that's the genius in making music is knowing when you've got too much going on to take stuff out. Because you don't, even sometimes if you've got the basis of a track and you're like, I need more, don't add another instrument or another sound. Just work with what you've got and change notes or chop vocals up or just do something with what you've already got rather than adding more sounds and more layers, because then it just becomes cluttered and the ear doesn't know what it's listening to.
Skeleton Key says, start a track, eat some crisps, scratch some heads, eat some more crisps.
And then come back to it. Yeah, I'd like to hear that without the vocal, if I'm honest.
Because I quite like the bass. It was quite cool. It just the kick didn't pass the kick test, so that's the first rule of thumb. Wicked. Well, we found one. That was wicked. I always like we found it.
There's a couple in there that I liked the ideas of. You know, nothing 100% right for Audio Rehab, unfortunately.
Cool.
But there was the vocal one that I could definitely hear potential on with another mix. But that's been fun.
Wicked. Thank you for joining me. Well, so what's coming up? What? Tell me about what else is coming up. What's music's coming out? You're playing Ministry Sound this week? Yes,
we've got Ministry of Sound this coming Saturday. We're doing a label showcase in the 103. Got myself, Ian Solo coming down from Leeds, Jack Burt from Cambridge, the posh rude boy as I call him. He's making some. I mean, these guys are making amazing music. Nocturnal Joe from Derby, another one that's making great tracks. Danny Ghosts from Wolverhampton. So it's nice that I've not just all London-based producers. It's guys, the sound is now spreading out, but they're making the right sound, if that makes sense. They've got the ethos of what the label's all about.
That's cool.
And then my son, of course, is playing as well, Dick Radford. So it's going to be a good night. And then I've got a release just out on Monday from Paul Robinson on the label, an amazing 3-track EP, London-based producer doing some great stuff. I've
releasing on Mondays.
I'm alternating to see which works best at the moment.
Nice.
I'm finding that sometimes a lot of people do listen to music on a Monday because come Fridays, quite manic if you're a DJ. You've got a lot of stuff going on. So to try and buy music on a Friday, I was finding it was getting a little bit lost. So I'm thinking if you hit it on a Monday, you've got all week to promote it. So then people have got more time. Because if you go, right, Friday, we've got to release that, bang, 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 you're too late then to hit a lot of DJs' playlists. So I'm just trying to know a bit. I'm doing one release on a Monday, one on a Friday, and see what works best at the moment.
That's interesting. We always do free downloads on a Wednesday because I feel like it builds that traction on a Wednesday and a Thursday, and people are downloading stuff for the weekend. And
I find there's so much coming out on a Friday that you can just get lost. Also, I've got my own album, second album that I've ever done, coming out in the end of April. We're dropping that.
Nice.
I'm just probably going to keep it at about 12 tracks. So just narrowing down the tracks I'm going to put on there. So a few vocal tracks, a few breakbeaty tracks. So not every track's going to be a club banger. I'm trying to put some different styles on there, as well as the Audio Rehab style stuff. I just want a couple of different tracks on there just to show that I can do other styles as well, you know? It's an album after all, so it's an album so I can be a little bit more experimental on there.
Gang in the chat, we should have a listening party again. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, I'm well up for that. Get some of your guys' feedback.
Do you know when Sonny Fodera's album came out, we tried to have a listening party on Twitch. It was I normally stream in the afternoon, but we did it in an evening, and oh my, it took us an hour and 20 minutes to listen to 4 songs because it was just jokes. People were texting this is the Shed hotline. People were texting the Shed hotline every 30 seconds.
Amazing.
And it just took us forever to get through 4 tracks. And Sonny's tracks are like 2.5 minutes long as well. So it took us an hour and 20 minutes to get through 4 tracks. It was, we were, and everyone was in hysterics because the chat was popping. The phone was going beep, beep every literally 30 seconds.
Amazing. Was that in a good way or whatever?
No. It was no. In the chat, it was one of their favorite streams ever. Like people,
amazing.
It was. So yeah, gang, we should do a listening party when Mark's album comes out. I'll find a Thursday evening. We can do a Thursday evening listening party stream.
Cool. I'm up for that. Definitely. Do you want me to come there? We do it in person.
yeah. Let's do it. Come up to the shed. That'd be hilarious.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm up for that. Sounds good.
So yeah, let us know when the album comes out. That sounds amazing. That sounds cool.
I'm aiming for the end of April, but just got to finalise the last couple of tracks. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be the end of April or beginning of May.
Okay, cool. Yeah, keep us posted. Beginning of May is the 1 year anniversary of me streaming, so we'll do some fun shit around there.
Okay, could be good. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, here it goes. See, if this is the shared hotline. Tell Mark he has an elite beard game. Mark apparently has an elite beard. So this is
Good. Glad to hear it.
what else is coming up? What are you doing this summer?
Loads. Got loads of book parties coming up. I'm launching a new event with Lance Morgan and Lee B3 Edwards, which is called The Foundation.
Nice.
We did I don't know if you saw the stream we did on Christmas Day, we put that out. So it's just a reflection of the music that kind of launched all of us to where we are today, paying homage to that sound, like that real original deep tech era from 2010 to 2012, 2014.
Nice.
And just for us three to play together all night, we've all sort of built our own careers in our own way, but we've never actually done a party all together.
Nice.
So it would just be us three all night. So I'm looking forward to that. We're launching that Easter bank holiday in a secret location in London.
Nice.
And we're gonna aim to do it every bank holiday.
Oh, wicked.
So that would be good. Yeah.
Wicked.
So I'm in Amsterdam with the House of Silk gang beginning of May as well. Planning to go back over to Ibiza at some point. I'm just seeing how things pan out over there. But I will definitely be going back at one point this year. I'm aiming to do something towards the end of the summer over there. End of September,
cool.
October.
That's cool.
But yeah, loads of bookings coming up. So things are looking good. Definitely come back with a bang.
I'm glad to hear it. That's wicked. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being part of the stream today. Thanks for listening to the tracks and your feedback. And
been an absolute pleasure.
And we look forward to a listening party for your album. That'd be sick.
100%. Look forward to it.
If you found this interview interesting, consider giving it a like and a comment. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and let me know your biggest takeaway below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm back on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and you can check out the schedule from the link below as well to see who's coming up in my interview series. I'll see you in the next Twitch stream or the next YouTube video. I'll see you soon. Bye.